So as many of you probably know from my previous videos, I was at a convention this weekend called FanFare. It's a one-day only, free admission sort of convention, and it was pretty good. It was pretty decent, yeah. I got there at around 9 or 10, and then we registered. It was, of course, free. They just wanted to keep track of how many people were there, kind of thing. And it was very small because it was in one hotel, unlike Han Bravo, which is in that hotel and the convention center attached to it. It was only the dealer's room, which was like the big ballroom for the hotel, and then there's 2 rooms dedicated to gaming, the electronic gaming and the tabletop gaming. The first thing that my girlfriend and I did was we went into the dealer's room, of course, and looked around at some of the vendors there, and they all had some pretty good stuff. There was also an, what do you call it? A booth or something. There was like a big table where there was some reptile people there showing off snakes and lizards and stuff. And I guess that's pretty cool. I got some footage of that.
I've got over 20 years of experience dealing with all reptiles.
I'm not really much of a snake person. I mean, snakes are kind of something I admire from a distance. I'm not a big fan of touching scales and stuff. My girlfriend liked it. She talked to the guy who runs it, and you know, he had a lot of information about how they do things there, and they're apparently some sort of snake rescue thing. I don't know. Something. After that, we kind of wandered around. We went into the electronic gaming room, and there was like a bunch of consoles there for like Street Fighter and Super Smash Brothers, mostly fighting games, which is not really my thing. But there was also a display for a convention coming up in, what was it? June 28th in Toronto, called Stage Select Gaming Expo, and they had some indie games up on there. Like, their whole convention is kind of a way to showcase indie developers and hobbyists in the gaming scene. And they at FanFare they had a display, and they had 2 games up for display. They had one that was about narwhals trying to pierce each other in the heart thingies.
Good job, Kat. Good job.
Yeah. I got to play it at least. Wait, I almost got it. Gotta get the terminal velocity. Yeah! I did it! And then, they also had a game. I can't remember what it was. It was something along the lines of... It was like Bit Trip Runner almost. Except you could have 8 players going at the same time. And it had like different colored platforms, and the background would change colors, and depending on the... God, I can't explain it. Depending on the background color, so like if you had a blue background, it would make all blue platforms disappear, kind of thing. It was pretty interesting, to say the least. I got some footage of that too, I think. after that, me and my girlfriend went into the tabletop room and we checked out some of the tabletop games they had there. We played, what was it? We played a game that was like where you play like a cooperative game where you play as superheroes and you each had your own decks based on what superhero you choose, and you could try and fight a villain kind of thing. I don't really know how to explain it really. I mean, if I could find the game, I'll put a link to it in the description, but it's pretty interesting. I didn't get any footage of any of the board game stuff I did because I didn't have my, like, first of all, I didn't have my tripod with me, so I couldn't really put my camera somewhere. And I didn't really want to have, you know, someone just standing there filming the entire thing because they'd probably get tired.
Guy who was like
I'm Mr. Fixer.
Mr. Fixer. Let's play the Jurassic Park type setting because
What did you get?
I got Ray.
no, I didn't. Did it close?
Some sort of ninja mummy crossbreed.
Oh, I heard about that when they were doing temple and stuff.
Yeah, it was like $200 to help your car.
Yeah. Did you?
Angry.
No, I don't want that. I'm trying to get rid
Like
of
her.
this stuff. Sorry.
She looks like,
We're doing Bear and Blade.
But there was that, and then there was, what was it? It was a Star Trek game, sort of like that. Darn, what was it? Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Shadows over Camelot, Lords of Other Dark. Ah, here we go. Star Wars X-Wing. Is that it? Star Wars X-Wing? Is that all it's called? Yeah. Well, we played a game that's pretty much the same thing, except with Star Trek. And I just played that with my girlfriend, and it was actually pretty interesting because I played as the Klingons, and she played as the Romulans. And I thought it was actually a pretty fun game. I'm actually going to try and see if I can find that later on. And I don't know, I might get that and play it with some of my friends later on. It was a pretty fun game. If I can find it, I'll put a link to it in the description also. And then after that, we just got lunch, and then... Actually, no, we got lunch, then we played the Star Trek game. And then I signed up for the D20 Live thing that Big Mike was running there, which was a lot of fun. It was of course, it was ran by Big Mike from the 404s.
Oh, he's just done that. He's done. I'll take over. I'll take over as the DM who's never played.
I gotta keep an eye on the time savings to try to get into trouble.
Well, it's funny.
It's better principle. Oh,
Yeah, but
you can't appear weak in front of my players.
But you get
Don't you help him either. Put that away.
And it was a lot of fun. I didn't get any footage of it because it was meant to be more of a casual thing, so I didn't want to step on any toes there, I guess. I don't know. But I got to play as a cleric, human cleric, and had a few other people playing as, like, I can't remember really. There was a ranger, there was a dwarf fighter, and then there was a wizard, yes, a wizard. And I believe it was on the Pathfinder system, which I never actually played on before. I've mostly only played the 4th edition D&D. That's like the only role-playing system I know. So I was a bit nervous at first, but the way Big Mike structured it, and the way he had the character sheets written out, it was very simple, and you know, you didn't really need to know anything about Pathfinders or role-playing in general, so that was good, and that made it a lot more fun. I accidentally spilled my pop at one point. I had a can of pop, spilt it all over my character sheet. It only ever happens to me when I'm playing D&D. Like, I'm usually pretty good about not spilling stuff, but whenever I play like D&D or any kind of tabletop thing, it's like pop everywhere. Haha. I think most has to do with my like need to move my arms around a lot when I'm doing a role-playing game, but yeah, I felt kind of bad for that. At least it wasn't like nothing important got pop on it. I think I got a bit of pop on the dice case that the person who let me use dice sent me. So yeah, I kind of felt bad for that. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was interesting playing something that was supposed to be like the prequel before the first D20 Live thing. If you haven't seen the D20 Live at Con Bravo, I'll post some links to where you can find them. They are really hilarious. I really enjoy those. Those are like my highlights of Con Bravo. Is the D20 Live with Big Mike, Linkara, and other guests they might have. Last year's Aliens vs Predator actually spoilers. It was actually just Aliens, but last year it was really hilarious. I'm getting off track. So after that, essentially there wasn't really much else to do at FanFare. Like I said, it was a very laid back, very casual, you know, kind of meet people, show off your cosplays, play some tabletop games, browse the market thing, oh god, I can't remember what it's called now. The dealer's room, there we go. And so on and so forth. I actually got a Half-Life Lambda Core t-shirt, and I also got a D20 necklace. I'm not sure if you can really see it. There we go. D20 necklace. So I'm happy with those. I thought about maybe getting some N64 games, but most of the games that they had there for classic consoles were kind of like, well, either I had the games already, or they were kind of just, they seemed like sports games and kind of like throwaway games of those generations kind of thing. But I don't know, maybe next time I go to a convention, if I have more money, I'll take a closer look at a lot of those and see if I can find something worth picking up. Yeah, but essentially after that, we just decided that not much else to do, so we headed home and watched, and I introduced my girlfriend to JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Because why not? And yeah, that was pretty much FanFare in a nutshell. There, like I said, there wasn't really too much to do there. It was mostly just the dealer's room and just the 2 gaming rooms. But since it was free to get into and it was only one day, it wasn't... It was pretty good. I mean, for a free convention. I might have preferred a couple more things to do there. Maybe something in the back outdoors area, maybe a couple more events like the D20 thing that Big Mike ran. I don't know, something to kind of keep people's interest throughout the day, but it was still a pretty good event altogether, and I would definitely recommend giving it a go next year if you're in the area of the Hamilton area. God, I can't words right now. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing with myself.